start with Howard.
I don't know if you've seen the video of Coach Norvell running like a 4-2 down the sideline on the return. Where were you? I don't know if I saw you in the frame, and just what was the, he said he just was so excited because of all the work that group's put into that unit, and to see it, what was your reaction?
I wasn't running that fast. I know that. No, I was there on the side, kind of watching it go, and I kind of was working with it down the field, but certainly not at Coach Norvell pace. But you know, there has been a lot of work put into it, and Keon's been really close, and I think as a unit we've been really close on a couple of returns because a lot of things have to all happen at the same time, right? You need the kick that is returnable. You need it to be blocked up the right way, and sometimes you got to make somebody miss, and all those things happen within that play that allow that to get out and be an explosive play. And you know, I can't say enough good things about that unit as a whole in terms of how they prepare and work during the week, because they have gotten better as the year's gone on, but also what Keon's been able to do. You know, just what he brings, his toughness, his confidence, his big playability. I think we're just going to start scratching the surface on what that unit could be with him back there.
Kurt?
Keon said after the game, and then Coach Norvell said today, kind of you didn't anticipate him taking that role when you brought him in. I guess when did he start distinguishing himself to you as the guy who's going to be the returner, and when did you think he had kind of the big playability there that he's shown?
Well, you know, so in the summertime, certainly we had a little bit of an issue in terms of inexperience at the spot, because you know last year we had the same returner essentially the whole season. So we didn't have anybody with really any return experience. So we were trying different guys back there, and we did give them a shot to see what it looked like. But really, I think early on in the summer and fall camp period, the thought, in my mind at least, was probably LT, probably Ja'Kai, one of those two, and then Ja'Kai got hurt. So that kind of really forced the issue in terms of, okay, we really have to find someone who's going to solidify the spot, more than one guy. And just through the course of fall camp and the way he worked, he just did a terrific job. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks in the fall camp where, you know, I think we kind of started to look at each other and say, I think he can do this. You know, even though he has not done it before, and he just did a great job. And you know, just the type of player he is and his mentality breeds confidence not only to the coaching staff but everybody around him.
Brendan?
With all that in mind, like, is there a way to know, like, you obviously know he's big and fast, and you get to see him in practice being able to field punts and see some progression, to like to know that what he did on that 75-yarder, that he has that in him, that specific athleticism as a returner? Do you see it?
Well, I mean, I think when you see him every day playing wide out, you kind of see what he can do with the ball in his hand. And every time he makes a big play offensively, I think to myself, yeah, that guy, he's also back there returning punts. And it's just a matter of time until he makes one of those plays as a punt returner. You know, he's had a couple opportunities where, like I said, it was really close. But him having the ability to break out and have a big one there, that was great for him. It was great for the whole unit. And I think it's something to build on for us going forward.
Chris?
Conrad obviously had 2 penalties on the special teams. What do you say to him? He's obviously a freshman trying to make a play in that moment, but also ended up hurting the team.
Sure. You know, I think all lessons that happen throughout the course of the game, especially for young players, are valuable if you can take the information that you gain from the experience and then let it help you become a better player moving forward. You know, when you thrust true freshmen into positions where they're playing a role, no matter how big or small it is, you know that there's going to be some growing pains that go along with it. Some lessons that are going to be learned on Saturdays that it's just hard to teach, Mondays through Fridays. And, he learned a lesson there. And I think part of that is just, having some awareness and then not allowing your emotions to get the best of you in the situation. And, I think he's a really talented player, and I think he's going to have a really good career here at Florida State. But that's one of those opportunities to grow and learn from. And, we took the opportunity as a coaching staff to do it, but I think he also was able to receive the lessons. And I think with every time he's out there, he's going to get better and better.
Yeah.
Similar to the punting here, Duke is having a lot of success on punting as well, strong on punt defense too. I guess how are you guys preparing to see, a similar look from them when it's coming to the punting and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they do. They have really good cover units. I think we're 1 and 2 in terms of punt. I think that's how it's playing out right now. I think that field position battle is going to be a big part of the game. And our ability to cover punts and Alex's ability to locate the ball where we need to locate it is going to be a critical factor in it. And then our ability from a return standpoint to have an opportunity to make a play to really help create some field position, because obviously they're good on defense. So we want to be able to win that field position battle and put our offense in the most advantageous positions we possibly can.
Jordan?
Coach, dating back to the Boston College game, a team has either missed an extra point or a field goal against you guys. How much credit do you give to your kick front?
I think in this particular case, I think it had a lot to do with it. If you look at the very first field goal block where they made the kick, Shy was like inches. Like when you watch it on film, it's hard to tell how the ball missed his hand as he was going to block it. And I do think that plays a little bit into a kicker's head when he feels that kind of pressure. And we brought the same block off the edge that we brought the first time on the missed kick, and the ball was pulled. And I think in all of the thing that the pressure doesn't have a factor. I prefer to think that we did impact it. Now, could the kid have just pulled the ball? Sure, he could have. But I think the pressure absolutely had a factor in it. And I think when you look back at some of the misses that have happened, they have had good pressure on all of them.
Kurt?
I think 2 weeks ago, I think you really saw a good game from Gilbert Edmond. I think this past week it was Byron Turner. I guess just as those two guys have grown into that, how much better do you feel now relative to maybe 6 weeks ago about just the two deep, especially at defensive end?
Well, I feel a lot better because it's one thing to have guys that you feel like have upside and potential, but until you go out and prove it, until you have the opportunity to get on the field and make plays and execute and play within the defense, you still don't know for 100% what it's going to look like. And both those guys have done a really nice job. I've been pleased with Byron. He's a guy that obviously we recruited and has been developed within this program. And I just see him getting better every time he goes out there. He plays fast, he plays with an edge, he plays physical, very similar to how he played in terms of covering kicks. You feel his presence when he's out there, especially with the physicality he likes to play the game with. So I've been pleased with the development of both those guys.
Ira?
You kind of touched on what you said before about scratching the surface with that unit, but are you noticing Keon, the more he does it, especially in games, like he's maybe realizing what he can do, maybe?
Sure, I think the more he's back there, the more confidence he's gaining in it. Keon's really, really smart in terms of how he understands the game. And even throughout the course of the week, like he totally gets who is being double teamed or who their good cover guys are, or where the seam could hit. Like he has a really good feel for what is happening in front of him, and I think that helps him when he's out there. I mean, he actually even came during the game and said, "Hey, I think we should run, a certain return," and but he had a reason behind why he thought that would be the one. And I think just that kind of investment and that kind of buy-in into that role, because it's really easy just to say I'm a wideout who sometimes returns punts. But I think he looks at it as like, whatever my role is on any given play, that's what I'm going to go do to the best of my ability. And when you have guys that are like that, it gives you a chance.
Let's go to Aslan for the last one.
Patrick, I don't know if it's a knack, but seemingly knocking down balls, the line of scrimmage, interrupting, passing windows. How tough is it to walk that balance to be a pass rusher and wanting to get to the quarterback, but then knowing that maybe you're not going to be able to get home, so let me try to disrupt this play in another way?
Well, it's something that obviously he has a great feel for. Some of that is just kind of his innate ability, but it is something we practice a lot as well. That first couple periods of practice, a lot of times we're doing some kind of ball disruption circuit, whether it's a takeaway circuit or mine in particular is always some type of quarterback throw ball disruption. And, you know, it's about getting your hands up at the right time. Yes, I want him to be a pass rusher first. I mean, that's the idea, get off the ball and try to win on the rush. But if you can't get there, having your ability to put hands in throw lanes is critical. And then also having good situational awareness, like the one against LSU was 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 for us, the way that we teach it, the ball's gonna be coming out quick. So you're probably not gonna be able to have a wide rush where you win around the tackle because the ball's gonna be out. So it's more of a power rush, get your hands in throw lanes and knock balls down. And I think Pat has just really good situational awareness. And I would love to say that every single player on the defense always knows exactly what the down and distance is. I would say in Pat's case though, he does. He knows exactly what it is, and he plays to the situation really well.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you guys.